Addiction is not a moral failure, and this is not to justify substance abuse. Hi guys, this is Dr. Amarachi. So today I'm going to talk about a very serious issue. Now, I had a client, he is 22 years old. He came to me and he had a bad fall. He was hiking and he fell, and he is an athlete. And in order to save his life, they had to do surgery. And the doctor prescribed pain medication to help with his pain. So this pain medication helped him out a lot. His pain was managed and he was healing. The bones were healing well. But then he ran out of his prescriptions. And guess what? That's where the monster and a different monster rose up. Now, he found out that he could not do without that pain medication. He was no longer taking that medicine only for the pain from the surgery and the fracture. He was taking it, and it was the medicine was serving as an escape from the deep depression that he faced from losing his athletic career. So this young man resorted to street drugs. When he ran out of the prescriptions and he needed to lay his hands on something, he resorted to street drugs to help him. His brain had been hijacked at that point. Now, this is a very, very serious situation. I want us to know something. Addiction is not a moral failure, and this is not to justify substance abuse. Addiction is a chronic brain disease. When you use a certain addictive substance, any addictive substance, for a prolonged period of time, it rewires everything and it hijacks your brain. It changes the chemistry of your brain. There is a hormone that operates in our brain. It's called dopamine. Dopamine is the hormone in charge of pleasure. What it does, the substance hijacks that hormone called dopamine, and then your ability to make decisions or to shut off certain things becomes very limited. At that point, taking those substances no longer becomes a choice. It's something that you have to do. It becomes a survival mechanism at that point. And that's why in Nigeria today, you see that we are going through a severe epidemic of substance use disorders. Now, this young man that I'm talking about, let's call his name Jake. Jake did not wake up one day and decide to destroy his life. But guess what? He was taking that medication for pain. It was prescribed. But along the line, he got addicted to the opioid. He got addicted, and he felt that his body could not do without it. And that is what these substances do to you. Now, when you see these young men in Nigeria, they are smoking Colorado loud and abusing tramadol or using codeine, don't really dismiss them like that as bad people and label them criminals and maybe chain them up and send them to prayer camps and say, okay, they are possessed by evil spirits. Understand that this is a medical battle. This is a real medical epidemic. And these young men are going through a hostage situation. It's something you don't want to experience. You don't have like help unless you get an external force from outside and come help you and rescue you and set you free from that hostage situation. That is what substances does to a lot of individuals. So these young men and women that you see on the streets smoking these substances and abusing them, some of them started like my client that I named Jake. They just wanted the pain to go away. Maybe they had some kind of situation, or maybe it was bad friends that introduced them. Oh, one puff, oh, one draw. And guess what? Their brain is hijacked instantly, and the way their brain chemistry start working is, it changes. And what do? We need to acknowledge that a lot of education needs to go out to our young people on the streets. We need to let people know what can happen, especially with things like addictive medications and substances. We need a lot of medical infrastructure. We need intensive therapy. We need people to be aware. We need our infrastructure in our communities to change. A lot of detox facilities are required to help these young men and women detox from these substances. Now, for Jake, he got help. He came to the detox facility and he got detox. We were able to help him. We were able to taper him off of those medications and gave him medications to help with the craving. So anytime he craved those substances, he had something. Like, it wasn't like we dropped him from a skyscraper, but we provided him with the support and the help that he needed. So he detoxed perfectly. He was able to detox and he was able to get medication to help with the cravings. Now, we cannot boast of facilities or a lot of them like that in communities like, or in countries like Nigeria. And that's why we need to advocate for people like this. Stop labeling them as criminals and stop labeling them as possessed or bad children or things like that. Yes, it's a bad thing to abuse substances, but we need to provide the help. We need to show empathy. We need to advocate. We need to educate and let people understand the dangers that are associated with things like even tramadol, pain medications. These are addictive substances. You're struggling with any kind of addiction that is related to substances, get help while you can, because these are very powerful substances. They will change how your brain works, they will change how your brain operates, and you will lose control. Your body will no longer be able to make those decisions to stop. You will need help to get through all of this. So this is an encouragement to everybody. Let's do a lot of education. Let's help our young people. Let's teach somebody. Let's help curb these substance use disorders that are in our society. I'll catch you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.